Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Rage, and we are back today with an arena video update. As you guys can see here, it's not every day that we are ranked #1 free to play, especially against all these different dolphins and spenders in my bracket. Now, having said that, the reason I want to make this video, guys, is that also I want to demonstrate to you that, obviously, as I pointed out in arena, I do believe it's one of the most important game modes in the game, especially in the accumulation and building of the power core supply. As you do better and better in this game mode, you'll be accumulating that over time, and that's how we're able to use that as a great opportunity and a valuable resource. Now, having said that, guys, I also want to show you, you don't necessarily need to be the highest TCP. As you can see, I'm only 126 million compared to some of these big guys like We Ate Pizza, 263. We have Sefus here, 261. I mean, the list goes on and on. It's not a measuring stick by any means, but it is actually why arena is such an important game mode, and the importance of the fact that you can build a strong 5-6 characters in your team that is able to help you climb the ranks, and that's exactly what it's all about. The quality over the quantity in the arena meta. Now, guys, this video is going to be including versions of Xavier that I use. So if you want to check out my other videos here, where we actually go through and defeat Odin without Odin, we go through and we defeat Fantastic Four without Fantastic Four, and we always also even have one where we defeat Professor Xavier without Professor Xavier. So check that down in the description below. But in today's video, we're going to be going over the two most common teams that we're going through in terms of offense. What I've seen anyways on defense has been this standard one that you see right here, which is the fantastic three-piece here, plus Quasar and Professor Xavier. And then I've seen different versions of Quasar, maybe Shadow King's there, maybe Odin is there, but this seems to be the most common one now, and we're also going to be taking that one down. Having said that, I mean, there's really only 5 to 6 characters that we're utilizing consistently in the mix, which is, once again, the Fantastic Four three-piece. We got Odin, we got Quasar, and then obviously we have to include Professor Xavier as well. And what's really impressive about this team is that we're doing like 1.52 million plus punch-ups. So you'll see that in the gameplay as well, guys. So without further ado, let's get started. Let's jump into the gameplay, and I'll show you the 2 different offensive options that we can utilize against the meta defense that we're seeing right now. Okay, so for our first offensive option here, and sorry guys, I missed this in my intro, but we are going to be using a team version here with Black Cat, just because she's actually going to be able to shut down the enemy Franklin Richards, and you'll see that shortly here. That gives us the edge because we'll be able to use our Franklin Richards ultimate before the enemy. So see the stun right there with trauma. Franklin Richards is in control, and now we're going to combo that up here now with our Franklin Richards ultimate, which places the silence on the opposing team. But with these matches, you always want to focus in on the enemy Professor Xavier as soon as possible, as he's going to be kind of dictating the entirety of the match, right? So even though the enemy was able to use their Invisible Woman ultimate before us, we're actually going to go a different route. We're going to use a special to ability block Professor Xavier on the opposing side. And sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't, but when the enemy Odin does use a special, the trauma and ability block should be able to still ensure that there's actually an ability block on Xavier, so he can't use his abilities. Now, it's our turn, and we go ahead. We use the special in between Franklin Richards as well as Professor Xavier and Odin, because that casts the additional blind ability block defense down, as you can see. And then at this point, guys, make sure you're not using any ultimate abilities here, because it helps out the enemy Professor Xavier. So you can see we use Mr. Fantastic special on Xavier that was able to actually finish him off, and that's going to leave likely an Odin and Mr. Fantastic, given that they're usually the 2 tankiest characters on these matchups here. And even though my enemy was, I think the opponent I'm up against had 1.5 to 2 million TCP higher than my team, we're able to punch up quite sizably, because in this case the strategy is more important than the team dynamic. And now we go ahead and take down Odin as a finish off there. So very clean example there, guys, but that is probably one of the most popular defenses, and what I've been seeing now is another version of this Quasar. So thankfully he's in the #1 spot, so we were able to do this in actually 1 recording error, so you can see in real time here that it did work. So this is what I was saying to earlier. Now, the opposing option #2 for offense is now taking in place of Black Cat. It's going to be Odin. Odin counters enemy Quasar. So it's kind of an interesting rock, paper, scissors match that we have right now in arena, but it's also still a coin flip here. Even though the enemy was able to use their Franklin Richards first, you'll see here it doesn't really matter who actually goes first in this case, even if it's a coin flip. It's more so how the attacks are going to land and who actually gets critically damaged in the battle. And that could be just dependent on RNG and the attacks, but I've been pretty consistent with this team. So enemy Quasar, uses his abilities. Thankfully, it didn't do as much damage as I thought it would, but this is where we finally get our chance there to make a move. So we go ahead. We tried to use the special there. It didn't really do anything because of the silence, but it is what it is. But what's key is right here, guys. You see my my ally Odin special. That is going to be extremely pivotal in the matchup. So you'll see here, Odin actually does a lot of work on these guys once he's able to get his attacks. But now finally, we get our turn with our Xavier special. And we do, once again, very similar to the first matchup. We use the special on the enemy Xavier. So that way, it actually, it's funny, he actually got one-shotted by the assisted attack. So that doesn't typically happen, but it can happen. And you can just see how fast the enemies fell, because what was unaccounted for was the special that Odin used was able to revitalize our team, even though the opposing enemies had a higher combat power than us and they were built stronger with higher star levels. We were able to actually counter this. So it can go actually really, really quick here, guys, as you can see. So guys, just to bring it home, remember when you're up against defenses with Quasar, use Odin. And then when you're up against defenses actually with the standard Odin, use Black Cat. So it's a very, very interesting rock, paper, scissors matchup right now in Arena. And the key then is making sure that you're actually getting your attacks in and going into that top 10 spot, which obviously gives us the power cores per day. So we've been maximizing 500 cores, but I will say this is the longest I've been able to actually be able to climb to #1 spot consistently. And it's been a very interesting because this team actually can punch up, you know, north of 2 million plus against these whales and spenders. So it's been super fun, guys. Hopefully this helps you out. And again, I'll have my videos down below for the other versions. If you do not have Professor Xavier and you're just trying to go higher in the arena rankings, we have an Odin video that can defeat Odin without Odin, Professor Xavier without Xavier in specific matchups. And then lastly as well, we even have one with Fantastic Four without Fantastic Four. So hope this helps you guys out. That pretty much is a accumulation of everything we have right now in the arena meta. Do let me know if I missed anything or you would like to see content on other teams. Thank you for your time as always, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.